Today is Friday, November 15th. This is Noreen Johnson, and here are the good news headlines of the day. President-elect Donald Trump has nominated Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services after he is sworn into office in January. Kennedy dropped out of the presidential race in August, endorsed Trump, and promised to investigate chronic health issues and what he believes is corruption within America's health and food ecosystem. Chronic diseases like diabetes, cancer, and heart disease are the leading causes of death in the United States, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the leading drivers of the nation's $4.5 trillion in annual healthcare costs. Close to 30% of American teens are pre-diabetic. More than 18% of young adults have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and cancer rates among young people are rising. Democrats in Michigan's State House are attempting to ram through radical sex education changes in the weeks before control of the body flips back to Republicans. Earlier this week, nearly 24 Michigan House Democrats introduced HB 6068, which seeks to make major changes to the revised School Code Act of 1976. The changes range from allowing schools to distribute condoms to giving schools a green light to teach students that abortion is a method of family planning and reproductive health. One of the biggest revisions proposed in the new bill is to remove a ban on distributing a family planning drug or device on public school property. The proposed amendments to the 1976 law would also add leftist gender terms and require that schools recognize and respect different sexual orientations and gender identities, and when discussing or providing examples of relationships, be inclusive of various gender relationships. While the changes would still allow schools to teach that abstinence is a responsible and effective method of preventing pregnancy and infections, the bill would remove a line referring to abstinence as a positive lifestyle for unmarried people. The new bill also keeps in place an option for parents to pull their children out of sex ed. In other news, the Ohio legislature approved a bill on Wednesday that would require students in public K-12 schools to use bathrooms that correspond to their sex rather than their subjective gender identity. The 74-page SB 104 would enact the Protect All Students Act regarding single-sex bathroom access in primary and secondary schools and institutions of higher education. The Protect All Students Act would require K-12 schools to designate all bathrooms and locker rooms that are accessible by multiple students to be exclusively for use by either male or female students. The bill does not allow schools to knowingly permit students to use a bathroom designated for the opposite sex. The Republican-backed bill defines biological sex as the biological indication of male and female without regard to an individual's psychological, chosen, or subjective experience of gender. The bill points administrators to the individual's birth record to prove biological sex. And then this, 2 leaders of a major global mothers breastfeeding support group, including one of the organization's founders, have resigned amid the group's decision to allow males to participate in meetings that have historically been open only to mothers. The International Board of La Leche League recently directed all British affiliates to begin accommodating men who believe they are women. La Leche League was founded in Illinois by Marion Thompson in 1956 and 6 other women to offer mother-to-mother breastfeeding support, first in the U.S. and then beyond. Thompson, now 94 years old, announced this week that she was resigning from the group's board of directors after accusing the organization of becoming a travesty of her original intent. And then Scottish breastfeeding advocate Miriam Main, she announced that she was leaving La Leche League and said her concerns began when she noticed changes being made to the official group literature, such as the term mother being replaced with parent and breastfeed being replaced with chest feed. She is urging the remaining leaders at the organization to listen to their hearts and decide what to do next. And then today we celebrate the feast day of St. Albert the Great. He is the patron saint of scientists, philosophers, and theologians. He was a doctor of the church and is known as the universal doctor for his vast knowledge. He taught that knowledge and faith are inseparable and that faith leads us towards God. St. Albert was canonized in 1931 by Pope Pius XI. St. Albert the Great, pray for us. And those are your daily good news headlines. This is Catholics for Catholics. May God bless you, and may God bless the USA.